Hi friends, I am Joel John, YouTube blogger, and in this video we are going to look at sole proprietorship business type. What is it, and also about business, and then what are the advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. This is for people who are in business, who are doing a sole proprietorship, or people who are even having a company and planning to take up another company, but don't have partners at that point of time to register it as a partnership firm, or don't have time to take it up to a registration as a private limited company, and to also get to know what are all the kinds of job offers for these people. Mostly when I talk about LPOs, legal process outsourcing, the consulting companies, the tax frames, the company registration, the consultants for company registration and change from companies type, they hire a lot of B2B callers. So for them also this information is very essential. So now getting into the topic, before looking at sole proprietorship, we can see see the definition of business. What is a business? Business is a person or a group of people producing a product or offering a service to consumers who are customers of the business, and they charge a price for the product or services they offer. So this is short about business. So in this business, when an individual takes the complete ownership of a business, it's called a sole proprietorship. When it's a group of business, it will go like partnership, and within partnership also there are a lot of divisions. Then it will go to private limited company, public sector company, and so on. When it doesn't have a business motive, when that's not for a profit making purpose, then it will be a non-governmental organization, which they call it as NGOs or a trust. Trust also, there are also trust which works for benefit of a certain group of people, like employees welfare trust, beneficiaries trust, trust, and society benefits trust, and some funds. Even mutual funds are registered as trust. Okay, so those are all beneficial trusts. So now getting into the topic of sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship, only one person owns the company, then it's called as sole proprietorship. This is where most of the people begin the business initially, and some people they stay with this, like travels. Even now today travels are becoming private limited and even public limited companies. But when you have one cab and when you become a taxi driver or auto driver, you will be registering it as a proprietorship. You won't do a separate registership. You'll be getting a permit from the RTO office. That itself is a registration certificate. That will have your address, and any registration of your business, sole proprietorship business, with the government office will be served as an address proof and business existence proof for that particular business. So for bank people, for your KYC, any government registered certification. Some cases when you don't have that, you can also go for non-governmental fellowship or union certificate. In some cases even that is not required for individual workers. For example, when you have these current accounts may also be opened without existence of a business when there are a lot of transaction, but they have to show the reason for transaction. At that time, they will be asked for their line of business or nature of businesses which the individual do. For example, I am a lawyer or I am a doctor. I can open a they will ask me to open a current account for making the business payments. On that case, mainly for chartered accountants and lawyers, they will be practicing their profession with the business companies. Or most of the business companies will say, please give your current account. On that only we can do the transactions. And these people also will prefer, because there will be a lot of transactions going on. So the bank will put additional transaction charges, or they will even block the account if there are more number of transactions on a savings account. So why I am saying this is, all these videos I am also creating for people who prepare for the interview, and also for business people also. This will give you knowledge about the problems which you may face in your future. Okay, and now getting into this, what will be the main ID proof is your PAN card and your Aadhaar card. For business, when you file a business tax, that also will be an additional proof. Okay, So if your business needs a GST number, then you have to file the GST certificate. That's a business proof. And tax identifier number. So those kinds of things come into picture, but are not mandatory for all sole proprietorship businesses. Okay, because you can just file your income tax return if you are on a lower margin with your PAN number and Aadhaar number. These two are the main key features. And apart from that, if I say that I have a business, but I have a different shop in which I do the business, then you will be registering it under Shops and Establishment Act of Government of India. That certificate is mandatory for running a shop. So that certificate will serve as a business purpose. For example, I don't even have a shop. I hire a home. In my home, one home is my residence. In that, my PAN card and Aadhaar card are there. But my office is on another rented home which I there. I am the one, or I have only few employees who work with me. So what could I do? On that case, the property for that property will be paying your electricity bill, water bill, right? Those kind of utility bills that you can use as your address proof. With this, you can get a current account, and that current account statement you can use it as an address proof. So now we have to look at the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: simple to start. There is no, in some cases there is no need of a registration. In case there is a government registration required for running that type of business, then you will have that registration certificate. And then another one thing is like the expenses are low in general, because there will be less number of employees, even though there is no cap. But you have to, if you have employees, then you have to pay them the PF, ESA, all those things. Those are mandatory. Don't say that this fellow said that for proprietor that's not required. I'm saying it now itself. These are all mandatory if you have employees. If you are doing it as a single person, then again the PF and those things won't come into your picture. And now when you have an initial plan itself, you cannot spend lot of things, lot of money for registration and lot of time for registration. So simply, and also you cannot lose your customers. Mainly the customers are the biggest assets for a business. They are the consumers, and they are those who are going to give you the feedback. Their feedback is going to bring in you more income in terms of sales. So once you get a chance itself, you'll be starting a company. So you cannot wait for getting a partner, getting a all those things. So when, on that kind of thing, you can directly immediately jump and start up a sole proprietorship. Start it with your PAN number and Aadhaar number. Then future on you can grow up. And for other mandatory government things, definitely check for a company registration consultant and company government form consultants. Check whether they are certified advocates and or chartered accountants. Don't go and give your money to someone who claims himself as a consultant. So check for all those things. Then apart from that, with the this kind of sole proprietorship, what are all the disadvantages? You cannot raise capital from outside. You can get loan with your bank account statement and all those, and those things mostly they will be mostly these proprietor people, they will get it as personal loan itself. When they give their current account and get it as business loan, they can check with you. You have to check with your auditor before getting a loan itself. Can you deduct the EMIs and expenses on your profit? Though, because your personal loan EMIs, you cannot show it for your you cannot deduct it from your income tax. So be very careful on that. So you should be conscious on these kinds of things. And raising capital means you getting money from venture capitalists, angel investors. These are the things which a private limited company or a limited liability partnership companies, they are those these people will be funding, not for sole proprietorship. But always after you start, you can change to this. And for people who are working for B2B calling, for consultants, these people are your targets. So when you see, this person would have just come to you for asking for, I need for PF and other things. At this time, start up the conversation. Sir, are you alone actively involved in this business, sir? Do you have some of your friends or any of you them who are co-participating with you? Yeah, I have. Or even for a shopkeeper, sir, are you alone doing this, or is this when you can get this purchase, you the shop name will be different and this person name will be different. Immediately start it. Sir, are you the only person, or your brothers are also involved, or are your brothers running some other shop? Why can't you make it as a partnership deed? You get a chance to get a partnership deed business done. And also you can then go on talk to him about limited liability partnership. say that you can bring in investments as well, sir. Many people who started at a very small business have grown to very big business magnates. So why can't you make it as a limited liability partnership, or better make it as a private partnership as well? Some people will say, I am the only person here. What you will do? Tell them, still you can go for a one-person company, sir, and you will be able to get in venture capitalist and angel investors funding. And only for many people have this misconception that they can get money only from the stock markets by issuing shares. That for public sector companies. Only at that stage, when you offer on a public share market with your initial public offering, that's IPO, and even after issuing IPO, you can go for a secondary follow-on option, follow-on offer of shares, and these shares will be tradable on the secondary market, so that you can get money by selling your shares as well. Like that, there are a lot of things. You can say all those and canvas them to and take them from proprietorship level. The person who comes for an initial tax filing level, or just for getting a registration with the shopkeeper's body, or for some other kind of registration. For example, those who deal with chemicals, they have to register separately for that. Like that, those kinds of registration certificate also people will be coming on. So you can canvas them and do a cross selling, or these kinds of sellings are called as upselling for the correct term. So these are the terminologies which they will ask in interviews. So you have to be very careful about that as well. You should know about cross selling and upselling. Cross selling is the person who would have come for a particular product, but you will find another one product as an add-on to you and sell it. The person would have come only for a filing of a tax or getting a GST number. You are going to cross sell and as well as an upsell, making his company from proprietorship to limited liability partnership or private limited company or one-person company. So these are the kinds of logics you should have. That's when you will shine on the interview and you will get selected. For people who are in businesses who are watching this, this is to know about how far you can expand. And if you are doing any business, start up a YouTube channel. YouTube channels, businesses are those who have to definitely start up a YouTube channel and start making income out of YouTube channel as well. And even if for your branding, you should have a YouTube channel before going for a website. I will say that, recommend that strongly. You have to speak about your product and upload a video. When people see that, and when you speak about business, when you properly draft a time and make a video, you will convey the message fully. And when you after a call, you just WhatsApp this video to that person. You'll be uploading it on the YouTube, and I'm going to make a separate video. What are all the types of YouTube channels you can create for various businesses, and that also I will add it up once that gets over. I'll be adding up in this particular playlist itself about types of companies, and I am also having a separate playlist called as YouTube tutorials. For looking at all the kinds of playlist I have, you have to click on the photo, my photo below this, or search as JOEL space JOHNJ, and I identify my channel with my profile photo. Get into that and go to the playlist and see all the playlist. And if you have any queries, please comment below. I will reply to that. And once you start up a YouTube channel, it becomes a easy way to communicate and a good way to deliver message. And for only sole proprietorship, if you are having, start it as an individual. And I think that changing the channel type from individual to business is not possible with YouTube. I checked in a lot of sources, I don't find an answer for that. The problem is like when you do the Google pin verification for getting monetization, what will happen is they will ask for a company incorporation certification number. Until you have a company which runs with you, you won't be able to get this company incorporation certificate number. And the advantage is the company tax only will be applicable for the incomes you get out of YouTube. You may think that YouTube will put ads even after making on getting monetization. It's your option to enable ads on a particular video, or you can even go without ads. And with if you select that option as well, you will be getting revenue for the number of premium viewers who view your content. So that's also a revenue source. And this YouTube channel, you can say it as a brand building activity, and with the number of views, you can add value to your brand. And when you sell it, you can quote a higher price, saying that, see, these are the value branding promotions which I have done, and these are continuous, so they have a branding price for my brand as well. Okay, Okay, friends, and we have to see lots and lots more of other type of companies. In others, I won't be able to speak about all these things, because when you look at partnership or company types, that's private company types or public company types, that itself will be a huge topic to speak. So I don't want my videos to go much long. And for bank people, remember that PAN number, Aadhaar number, utility bills or the address proofs, and government registrations for their type of business they do, and for storekeepers and shopkeepers, shopkeeper establishment board certificate. Those things are the address proof and business existence proof for line of business and others. And if it's an individual who does an individual service, even he can tick up the option and use his PAN and Aadhaar number and create a current account. And some cases for practicing people like doctors, auditors, and lawyers for their bar council registration, auditors, Indian Association of Auditors, chartered accountants, their registration, and for lawyers and for doctors, the government certificate for registration for the practicing as an MBBS or Sitta with the registration number. Those things will serve as the business proof. So with this, I come to the end of the video. It's time to say bye. It's your Joel Janjay signing off. Bye.